Here in San Antonio, City Council and Bexar County have both extended similar restrictions.
Our Garrett Berger's been following both of those. Garrett, how much will these match with what the state's doing right now?
Well, the big difference is whether or not the timelines will match up. There's some variation there, but there is a lot of overlap on the restrictions. And while the local ones do have some extra provisions, that seems to be kosher. From what we've heard, the city and county are allowed to have restrictions that are more restricted than the state, just not less so. So what's going on in the city? The city council approved earlier today continuing the mayor's order from yesterday for 30 days. That takes it now through April 19th, more than 2 weeks after the governor's should end. So the carry out and delivery only provision that was in that order will continue on. And while the governor's order prohibits visiting gyms or massage parlors, the mayor's order includes shutting down other businesses too, like theaters, bingo parlors, and bowling alleys. Now, all these restrictions in the city order can be lifted earlier, but the mayor seemed to think it more likely that the state's restrictions will end up going longer.
I think there's an expectation that after 2 weeks, the state is going to relook at all of these things, but it is very likely that we'll extend it as necessary. Thanks.
Over on the county side, the judge's order has some different timelines depending on the restrictions that he's talking about. Now, he mirrors the governor's restrictions for the next 2 weeks, but other directives will go on for longer. But those are more like protections for residents, and they include things like the suspension of eviction and foreclosure proceedings, plus a ban on price gouging. So if you're that jerk who bought all the toilet paper with the hope of selling it at an upcharge, joke's on you, you could get jail time for that now. And of course, all of this seems to change by the hour, so we'll see just how long all of these restrictions last before they're updated again. Now, as you've heard, with the city talking about 30 days closing down restaurants except for takeout and delivery, we're looking at a very big problem for restaurants. Hear about that from the head of the Restaurant Association coming up at 6. Live outside the Bexar County Courthouse, Garrett Berger, KSAT 12 News.